Hello, boys and girls. We are going to be making our animated tessellation. So you've already made the square, so now we're ready to start coding it. The first thing you want to do is move your square up to this corner right there. So you want to be kind of in your topmost left corner. So then I'm going to give it its starting location. So I'm going to say go to this location. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I like to come out and see how much do I need to get this to move over to come here. So I'm going to say move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That looks about 6 looks like it's too many, so maybe I want to do it 5. So now I'm going to change this to move 50 steps. So I'm going to come over here, I click the flag. It goes to its starting position, and now it moves there. Okay, so now I know that I want it to move all the way across. So here's what we're going to do, because I want it to look like a tessellation, like it's covering the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we are going to make a clone of ourselves. So I'm going to come over here under my controls, and I'm going to tell it to create a clone of myself, move 50 steps. Okay, so now when I do this, oops, I forgot to connect it. Now I have 2 of them. Okay, so now how many times do I think that'll take me to get across? I'm going to say maybe 8 or 9. You may have to, depending on the size of your square, will depend on how much you need to do. So let's try 8. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit play. 8 doesn't quite look like enough, so now I'm going to repeat it 9 times. Okay, so we've got all the way across. So now we've started our tessellation. You see it's starting to make kind of a cool looking pattern. So now I'm going to come down, but I needed to fill up the whole screen. So this is where we are going to be using our Y position, because we want to stay at this Y position. So I'm going to say my Y position, and that is under your blue. So I'm going to say Y position. And then I'm going to go to my same XY. So I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to tell it to go a -219 because I want the same X. But now I'm going to go to my operators, and I want it to go down 50, over 50, down 50, because it's a square. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say Y position minus 50. So now, instead of doing this, I'm going to go put that right there. And now you see it comes down to the bottom. Okay, but I see now I have a blank space here. That probably means I need to repeat this 10 times. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, this is what we are going, now I'm just going to, how many times do I think that I can go across and down all the way? So now I figure this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to play around with that just a little bit. Come over here, and I'm going to repeat all of this 7 times. So now I'm going to come over here, and it looks like it's filling the whole page. So 10 times. There. So that made my tessellation, but now I have this really cool tessellation. But now the cool part about this project is turning it into an animation. So now you're going to come over here and you're going to say, when I start as a clone. So in order to get it to fill up the entire tessellation, you may have to play around with this, but you're probably going to want to add a weight. So you're going to come over here and you're going to say weight. Under controls. You're going to say wait. When I start as a clone, I want it to wait. I'm going to say maybe 3 seconds. It might need to be more than that, but I'm going to wait 3 seconds. And then what do I want it to do? So maybe what I want it to do is I want it to change colors. So you could come over here and tell it to change the color. Or maybe I also want it to change color, and maybe I want it to spin. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put this in a forever loop. So now I could come here, and now I'm going to, you see it tessellating. And now you see it's kind of got this animated tessellation look. So that's just one example of an animation. Another example of an animation could be one that I found that was super fun, was to just tell it to point towards the mouse pointer in a forever loop. So then wherever your mouse moves, then it moves it with it. So watch this animation. So now you see every time I move my mouse, it makes it a little bit more interactive, because now wherever I move my mouse, it's pointing in that direction. So that's kind of a fun one to do as well. And the cool thing about this is after you did this, you could say switch costume, and you could add more than one square. There's lots of different animations you could do or try, but this is your animated tessellation.